I love this time of year. I love getting outside and starting seeds. I think that there is something so energizing about working outside with my hands. This is bucket number 1. I have some seeds that are soaking in water that desperately need to be planted, but I need to create my soil, so I buy the 11-pound block of coconut coir from Uncle Jim's worm farm, and I put it in a wheelbarrow, but you could put it in a tub and then you just fill it with warm water. In the past I have filled it with hose water, but from what I've noticed, it takes longer for the coconut coir to absorb the cold water, so I just use my little bucket and bring water out from the bathtub. And I think this was 4.5 to 5 buckets of water. Normally I let this sit overnight to fully absorb, but again, because I needed to plant these seeds, I just went ahead and added my perlite to it and tried to get it to soak up as much of the water as possible so I can get these seeds planted. These are the seeds that have been soaking. This is I think it's similar to, I'm assuming, like a morning glory type of thing. I got this last year and I never planted them. And then we've got some beets and then another group of beets. And then we've got some moringa tree, which 2 or 3 years ago, we planted a moringa seed. And it is still alive. It's in our bathroom. It's doing wonderful. Once it gets warm enough out, we will bring it outside. It's about 3 feet tall. So we have 7 seeds in here that we are going to plant, and this is what we're working with. You can also mix in vermiculite with the coconut coir and perlite. I used to do that, and this year I'm topping all of the blocks with the vermiculite after I add the seeds. I really enjoy this soil blocker. I bought this our first full year of gardening in 2018, and it is such a blessing because you don't need extra trays. You can use whatever trays you have. You'll see later in the video I'm using pieces of wood at one point with my smaller blocks. And I like these because of their size. You don't have to transfer them into bigger pots. The only con is you don't want to leave them outside when it's raining. I've had that experience in the past, and then it just becomes one giant soil mess and it doesn't work out great. A few years ago, we successfully grew an avocado tree, and it did get quite big before it died this past winter. But I'm trying it again because it was so easy. So all you have to do is take your pit, wash it off, put some toothpicks in it with the broad side facing down. That is where the roots will come out, and then the stem will come out at the pointy side at the top. And then you just fill those little cups with water, and I put them in our grow tent, and you just have to continually add more water. So we will see how these do. They cost nothing to do, so it's worth just trying it and see if they take off and work. We have outgrown our grow tent space for our seeds, so I need to put up another shelf in the house. We got these plastic shelves from an auction a few years ago, and we left them out back over the winter, so they ended up collecting some mud. So before bringing them in the house, I'm just going to give them a good rinse to get off any bugs and dirt, and then let those air dry before building the shelf in the house. our local herb nursery. This is about 45 minutes from our house, but I was in this area of town. They strictly sell herbs and I love coming here. It's such a beautiful place, and I needed peppermint because I thought that the voles ate all my peppermint last year. So I got a few other herbs while we were here. But I was pleasantly surprised a few days later to go out to the garden where the peppermint was last year and to see that they had actually made it. The voles didn't completely destroy them. So this bed is going to be our onion bed this year. Peppermint is a companion plant to onions. So we took those peppermint starts out and put them in a bucket. This time we're putting hardwire cloth down first.
Take that, vermin.
Voles specifically, but all vermin. Is it vermin or vermint?
Depends how rural and backwoods I am. Varmint.
Varmin? What is it though?
Vermin and varmint. I think it's two different words.
We're hoping that this will help prevent vole disturbance. We'll see. It's worth trying. Last year I ordered from Dixondale Farms. One of you guys recommended their shop and I loved their onions. It was wonderful, but they cost $16 per set, and it was very frustrating to spend that much money on onions only for us to not get that many onions out of them because of the voles. So this year we bought a new lawnmower, and when we were at Rural King to pick it up, they had their onion starts on display, so that's where I ended up getting them. Last year I looked far and wide at all of the local nurseries around us and none of them carried onion starts. So I always prefer to go to our local nurseries. The ones around here just don't carry onions for some reason. And I have in the past tried growing onions from seed, and it is a long, tedious process, and I think you need to start it in November and December, and we were out of the country after that, so it wouldn't have worked. But now I'm using my little mini soil blocker to start some herbs. I have valerian going, and then I'll do some coriander as well. Just a few days later, and this is what they are looking like. I hope this was a peaceful video for you to watch. My next one will be of our market garden merges cottage garden video. I will give you a full update on all of the changes that we are making in our garden this year in hopes to have a more fruitful harvest. God bless you.